for coming. Like Patty said, my name is Carolyn Johnson, and this is Michelle. Yes, is it? And she'll tell you a little bit more about her. We are speaking tonight on autism, ADHD, and anxiety. And I wrote a blog about this once, and I called it the AAA coverage you never wanted. Autism, ADHD, and anxiety. I didn't sign up for that. That's what I got. So what we want to encourage you with is that there is a lot of hope for these conditions. And as you find out what are the underlying causes of autism, ADHD, and anxiety, you can find out how to treat them naturally in your own home. And of course, you still may need some help with your doctors, but it's going to be a lot smoother road for you as you incorporate these pieces to your plan that you're using. I'm just going to put you on this side. Turning chaos into calm is the goal. So let's go one more. On our last class, if you came to the first part of this class, we talked about just managing the symptoms and bringing some balance to your home. But tonight we'll talk about, like I said, the underlying causes of these conditions. This is my family. My husband Kevin and I have lived here just about a year and a half, I think. And we're from Montana in Colorado. And we have two kids, Zoe and Noelle. Our older daughter, Zoe, is the one that has the diagnosis of high-functioning autism and ADHD. Our younger daughter has struggled with failure to thrive, anxiety, and depression quite a bit too. So that's us, and that's my daughter. She doesn't usually have crazy hair like that. That was just Genius Day, so I like that picture. And her birthday's tomorrow, so it's pretty exciting. At my house, I have an 8-year-old, and every phase is exciting and new. And I am so glad that a year ago I was attacked by a crazy woman. Her name was Melinda. She stepped out. My younger daughter was having an asthma attack, and Melinda said, "Here, put this on her." And I didn't even know her, but she had a little tiny bottle of essential oils in her purse. And it was amazing because my daughter's asthma attack stopped in moments. And that was my first introduction to doTERRA. It was really dramatic, which fits me perfect. So, and ever since then, I've just been learning and implementing them, and we have some exciting things to share with you of what it's done for our family and for Michelle's. Oh, where's your camera? Skip. She should have a picture of that.
Sad.
Carolyn, where did she put it on? Or where did you put it on the track?
I just put it on her chest.
There
Yeah, and
they
we
are.
were running to the car, and by the time we got there, this was about 30 seconds. It was done.
Was it free?
It was breathe. Yeah, it was breathe oil. Yep. Yep.
All right. Move over your block.
Are we blocking the screen? That table is so far away and I can't push buttons. Okay, so I'm Michelle, and I'm married and have 4 kids. 4 really fun, fantastic kids. Our family motto is we don't do normal. Nothing even remotely close.
Can you guys all hear back there?
Not quite. Okay. So my oldest is 17, and I've got a 15-year-old and a 12-year-old, and then a 9-year-old daughter, the princess. So my boys all have crazy diagnostics of high-functioning autism, OCD, anxiety disorders, a genetic growth disorder. Between my oldest 2, we have 4 different rare genetic disorders. And so we joke that my daughter has princess syndrome. That just throws her right in the mix. Yeah, so we told lots of stories in the last presentation. I think we're going to try to limit that a little bit and get more information out for you today. Maybe next class we'll tell more stories. This is still me. Okay. So tonight we're going to break it down into three steps for you. 3 steps to remove, replenish, and repair the system. We want to attack chronic inflammation, toxicants, gut disease, methylation chemistry, oxidative stress, and immune dysregulation. Those are all things that are triggers for autism, ADD, anxiety, but also so many other diagnostics like fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis. A lot of these things go along with many other diagnostics beyond autism. So if you're here because you came for training and you're like, I don't know anybody with autism, this is not useful, it's totally useful. Anything that you are suffering from, the gut diseases that are involved in this are very much connected. These steps will help you remove, replenish, and repair your system and get your health back. So, some of the clinical signs of yeast, which is one of the gut diseases that we're going to discuss a little bit. Rashes and hives, eczema, psoriasis, funky smelling scalp, itching and redness, abdominal bloating, increased gassiness, constipation, diarrhea, strange smelling stools. All of these things are side effects of gut diseases and signs of clinical yeast. So our first step is that we want to remove all of these symptoms. Physical signs. So sometimes they may not have a rash, they may not have any of those things that are the body's way of expressing it, but it may be things more in personality and attitude, which leads to ADD and anxiety kind of symptoms, OCD kind of symptoms. Demanding, non-compliant, aggressive, stimming behaviors, hands over ears, chewing, teeth grinding, laughing for no reason, climbing, rocking, hanging, craving breads and sweets. Some of these things, I know several of these things, as I was pulling this up, I was like, oh, that's this child, that's this child, that's this child. And my youngest son can't do much comprehensive unless he's upside down. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this was kind of a good slide, a good graphic I found about Candida. And it's out with the bad, in with the good. You want to kill the Candida, so this is kind of the regimen that you'd want to use. Preparing the body with the vitamins, using the LLV vitamins, and then moving on with cleansing the system with the endocrine. And then going on to killing the Candida with the GX Assist, the probiotics, and now you're symptom free. But we live in this world still. You can't just stay in your little bubble at home. You still have to exist. So once your body is system free, you're still going to be exposed to toxins out in the world, and you're going to need to go back and do steps 2 and 3 and 4 to help keep your system clean.
Do you want to talk about the oregano?
Oh, okay. Oh, and I have to go back really quick to a lot of the things that we're talking about too, as far as when I address that they cover more than just autism. It's not just our experience saying, hey, we tried this last week and our kid started acting like he should for a little while. It's not just us. This is stuff that biomedically recommended treatments. There's been lots of studies, lots of information, lots of published reports on how taking care of these toxins and issues with the system can help heal from all of these diseases and disorders. One of the ways that you can remove the yeast and the fungus from your system is with oregano. It stimulates the immune response. It's a natural defense. It cleanses it's a cleanse regimen for the GI health, eliminates internal yeast. It's like a medicine cabinet in a bottle. So oregano is a good support to have for your system.
So do you give that orally or topically or oregano?
You can just decide what your child can do. If it's an adult, we're going to recommend that you take it in the capsules. The GX Assist will point that out, has oregano in it. You can make your own capsules of oregano, and you can also just put it on, dilute it, put it on their feet, put it on their abdomen. But you have to do it really consistently and make sure it's in the system like at least 3 times a day when you're really fighting this. So you would need to maybe get a little bit of help deciding how often. But our naturopath said, that's awesome, 3 times a day oregano. She was very impressed with doTERRA's oregano, and she actually prescribed it. She said, if that's what you have, I want you using that kind to kill the yeast in your daughter's lungs, in her gut. So Yeah.
And you do that in addition to the GX assist? Or do you do it
Well,
on days you're not doing the GX assist?
I use the GX Assist now, but I would do the oregano topically added.
Okay.
Yeah. At first, yeah.
And would you recommend if they're like in a school setting or what to maybe put it on the feet because of the
It's very strong.
The
The oregano
smell.
is strong.
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
at night to put it on the feet or on the stomach?
Yeah,
Dilute it.
definitely. If it's one that the child really doesn't like the smell, or if they're going somewhere they might get teased, that happens. So put it on the feet, cover up the socks. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of them I use with my daughter, and she has specifically said she'll be all ready to walk out the door and have her boots on, and she'll take her boot back off and hold out her leg. She's like, don't put it anywhere near the top of me because people keep making fun.
Yeah, I never would have guessed that yeast was causing some of the major symptoms of autism. I felt really gypped by my autism information when it didn't come in that pamphlet that actually one of the main reasons why your child hits her head for hours on end is because she has a fungus in her gut. Nobody told me that. But after years of battling that, we found a doctor who finally said, look at all these symptoms, you know what this is, put the pieces together. And so when we started treating candida, or the fungus, all the symptoms started being alleviated. And like you saw the list, and you'd be like, oh, okay, the skin stuff, and the smell, and the behavior, and the sleep. And it's really surprising how many symptoms can be caused by this. So my daughter was on antifungal medications for years, but honestly, that's not very safe as a lifelong plan. And so to be able to do oregano as a lifelong plan, if she's going to battle this, is great because it's only going to help her. Every single dose is going to help every area of her body instead of possibly causing damage, yet killing the yeast. The other thing that is found in most children with autism, at least, is that they will have an immune system that does not seek out and destroy every rogue virus. And so they may have viruses cycling through their body and really causing a lot of problems in their neurological system, just cycling through their body, and their immune system doesn't find it. So along with that, oregano is going to be finding not only fungus, but viruses and bacteria. That we're going to talk about another oil that would be great for viruses too. But there's crazy viruses, and like it listed there. They might have Lyme's, or I think it's a bacteria, but they might have the Epstein-Barr or something that you would just never guess. But you don't have to necessarily know that your child has a virus or a fungus. If you look at their symptoms, you can safely use the melaleuca or the oregano like we listed and just see, and you know it's just going to help them. So with viruses, you might see like the herpes virus, or you might see strange skin stuff also. You might just see fevers that come and go and odd things that they're just fighting something. So melaleuca is pretty amazing. You can take it, they can take it internally if they can swallow the GX Assist pill, it has it in there. Or you could just dilute it and put it on, again, you could put it on their spine, on their feet. Just consistency is the most important thing if you're going to be killing off something that's been there for a while and the immune system's been skipping. So just use it every couple hours.
And definitely make sure that the body is still, that you're drinking lots of water to help flush out all the stuff. And it's not something that you want to jump in and go, okay, I'm going to do everything tomorrow. I'm going to clean out all the toxins of my whole life, and I'm going to take every oil I can find that has something. You're going to make yourself very, very sick, really, really fast. Trying to push out all those toxins and things will disrupt your system really quickly if you're doing too much, too fast. So you want to start slow and build up. Add another oil every day. Don't do everything at once, because there's a lot of toxicity in your system, and all of that coming out at once is not pretty.
Yeah, doing one thing at a time is a really good suggestion, like she said, because you want to watch how do they respond to this oil and how does this play out. Don't add everything at once. Kids can often have odd reactions, and you want to know exactly the one that it is the second it happens. So if they do react or their skin is irritated, then you know the one because you only added one. Let's go on to the next slide. So in the biomedical treatment of autism and ADHD, they list all the things that you need to remove from their system. Like we were saying, fungus, viruses, and bacteria is a huge one. I know they found like a staph infection in my daughter's stomach, and it's like, how did she get a staph infection in there? But you know, in a world that we are using antibiotics for everything, to kill bacteria, we're also killing our good bacteria in our gut, which is, I mean, our immune system is basically our gut. So it's from our mouth all the way down out the end, that's our immune system, like 90%. And if we say, oh, let's kill off everything in there without replacing the good bacteria, then we have opened the doors for other things to grow. And somehow along the line, these kids, it's very common to get like staph, or there's some others are listed here. What I love about doTERRA is that you can use their antibiotic oils instead of giving your kids antibiotics, prescription antibiotics. And you can avoid this problem of killing off all the good bacteria. So let's go to the next slide. One of the greatest oils for an antibiotic is On Guard. And it'll kill more than just bacteria. It'll kill like the other things that we listed, but we wanted to highlight it. You can clean with it. doTERRA has a toothpaste with it in there, and that's excellent. It's a fluoride-free toothpaste with xylitol and On Guard. And they have cleaning products, the On Guard throat drops, just a lot of On Guard products that you can use to naturally use as an antibiotic, and yet you're not killing all the good life in your body.
How often do you use On Guard?
We do it every day, for sure.
So once a day?
Yeah, right now we're doing it once a day.
I do it with my family at the beginning of the day. We joke that we put on our germ bubble, and everybody lines up and we rub a little on the back of our necks, and we're all good for the day. And if there are activities in the evening, I usually, if I'm heading back out in the world in the afternoon or the evening, I'll usually add another drop.
So you don't do internally, you do?
I don't personally.
This is kind of the health habit we're talking about, but if you're talking about specific treating and a bacterial issue, then you would use it a lot more. And there are protocols for making your own antibiotics and that kind of thing. So, and those are online.
Can you talk about how it has cinnamon and it might be sensitive to some skin?
Okay, yeah. So online you can find antibiotic protocols if there's if infections found. Yeah.
Where do you look for that?
I've looked at everythingessential.me, and there's a really good antibiotic protocol in there. I love that website. And On Guard is a hot oil, just like oregano is a hot oil, and so you'll want to dilute that for sure, because it will, like clove and cinnamon, that can burn the skin. So be sure, if you're putting it straight on, be sure to dilute it. Ooh, I love this topic. I lived in South America for 3 years, and I got up close and personal with parasites, and I didn't know that they are up close and personal in this country too. That's just not true at all that we don't have parasites here. But we have such good nutrition and other things that a lot of times we don't find out we have parasites eating the food that we're eating. So we just keep feeding them. And these kids, sometimes you see their bellies bloating, and you'll be like, that looks like the little kid in the Africa pictures that has the bloated belly. Well, yeah, the classic skinny autistic kid, they're not getting their nutrition because the parasites are eating it and they're bloating their stomach. And all kinds of people that don't have the giant bloated stomach, they can also have parasites too in other areas of their body. If you think you might have something messing with your system that's parasitic, you can use, you don't necessarily have to have it confirmed, but you can get, you can go to a naturopath, and they're more used to checking for parasites. But if you use the GX Assist, it's a blend of melaleuca and oregano and lemon, peppermint, lemongrass. it has everything that would kill. Maybe it's fungus, maybe it's virus, maybe it's bacteria, but if it's parasites, it will also kill it. My dad's in Africa right now, and he is taking the GX Assist just because it's not going to hurt him, and if he comes in contact with a parasite, perfect. He already is killing it. So, also too, with parasites, one of our daughters definitely was found. She had it. They'll be really picky with their food. They just know there's something wrong when they eat, and it doesn't feel right. And so also too, you can see a lot of diarrhea sometimes, or constipation. So yeah, we listed there. There is the lemongrass, peppermint, and thyme is in it too. So it's a great product. It's a really small pill. And so kids, actually I'm trying to get our youngest one as her first pill, trying to get her to eat the GX Assist because it's this perfect tiny little pill. Perfect for swallowing. Just make sure they don't bite it, because that will be like this hot, you know, but it's a thick coating on it, and it's not easy really to bite. So yeah, we love the GX Assist, and the doctors we've run it by, I think it's an awesome product too. So
Okay, with toxins and heavy metals. We all know there's so many toxins in our world with the chemicals, and I mean, even there was something I was reading, some gal that had just moved into a new home recently, and she was so stressed because her family is so very careful about everything that they touch, and toxin free, and cleaners are great, and everything's so clean. And as soon as she moved, she got very, very sick, and her kids got very, very sick, and they couldn't figure it out. It's a brand new house. Well, there's chemicals in the brand new carpet, and there's so many different ways that they're entered into our environment. Toxins in the body, ways to get those out are with the Zendocrine. There's capsules and oil with the Purify. The Zendocrine works with the, I'm going to flip this around. Hang on. The Zendocrine is the organs,
yes,
right? Okay, see, some of this is still new to me. Zendocrine helps get the toxins out of the organs. Purify helps with the nervous system. And so does past tense, right? And yes, and lemon helps get them out, and cilantro specifically attacks the heavy metals. And toxins in the home, using On Guard as the cleaner for the home, using it as hand soap, the hand wash, and diffusing it. I diffuse On Guard in my house too. That's come in very handy. My kids have extremely low immune systems. My oldest is actually, I'm homeschooling 3 of 4, negotiating with the principal with the course tomorrow, because my boys kept getting sick, and my oldest missed his freshman year, basically, because he got so violently ill. He caught back-to-back flus and was sick for 6.5 weeks. And the school said, don't even bother sending him back. And so we got to start from scratch. And so he's 1.5 years off because he got sick again his junior year. And so we're trying to play catch up and get him graduated. But they have not, my youngest son had a 24-hour bug at Christmas because my sister brought her sick kids to Christmas and let her boys climb all over him. Otherwise, nobody in my house has had any viruses since September, which is miraculous. We're usually on our 7th trip to the hospital by now. Some toxins in the food. Eating organic foods, checking that you're not taking in all the processed garbage that's out there right now. Eating a whole food diet, researching, read those labels. There's so many subtext, twisted names of things now that are hidden into food products, especially prepackaged foods, condiments, things like that. They're going to have some crazy stuff in them. And the GMOs, making sure that you're avoiding the genetically altered foods.
So while she was talking about the toxins, I just put a drop of lemon on top of this styrofoam cup, and it's already eating through it, if you can see, but in a few minutes it'll have eaten through the top, because the essential oils that are made to detoxify, they will eat through the synthetic petrochemicals, which is awesome, because if they're stored in your body, that's very hard to get them out. But lemon and other citrus oils and like On Guard, they'll just eat through a cup like this in a second, but you'll see that it doesn't hurt us. It just takes away and eats through the synthetic stuff. So we'll have to show you guys that in a minute.
One thing I have to say on that really quick, I thought I was being all smart when I first started with doTERRA. And I was adding my On Guard, and I was adding, there was some other one I was adding to my bottle of water, and drinking my bottle of water all day. That was a plastic bottle of water. So I was eating up my plastic bottle and putting it right into my water and into my stomach.
Yes.
So
Get
yeah,
glass. Get
put them in a glass.
Yeah.
Don't put the oils in a plastic cup of water.
I have a question. I'm trying to screw all this down. Do you have this?
Yes. Good, thank you very much. This slideshow and the video recording will be on, there's a little website written at the bottom. It's essentially CHEL.com. And these will be up on our website tomorrow sometime.
You said it.
Essentially,
Okay.
Shell, CHEL.com.
Okay.
And there's handouts and the video and the presentation from our last class is also on there. So all of that information, so if you have somebody that you know that doesn't live here, that didn't make it tonight, feel free to share. Please pass the information along to help them.
Was that Shell, S-H-E-L-L?
CHEL.
C-H what?
EL.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
no,
right there.
okay.
Very small on the bottom. Yes?
Yeah. I can see it.
Well, let's talk about it in a second. We're going to talk about that. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so the first step that we were talking about in rebuilding your child's health or your own health, there is so many adults with these issues right now too, is to remove the foreign pathogens, right? The fungus, bacteria, virus, parasites. The second step that we're telling you is to replenish what the body should have in it. The first thing that the body should have is a vibrant amount of good bacteria, and that's why we take probiotics. After you have cleansed with the GX Assist or the other oils we've talked about, you're going to want to replace the good bacteria. PB Assist is the name of doTERRA's probiotic. And it comes in a really unique delivery system that has one set of the probiotics, the food that feed the good bacteria, encapsulated, and then a whole nother capsule outside of that. This is designed to get very far deep into their digestive system so that the stomach acid's not going to eat up that probiotic before it even gets down to the intestines. So after you've done some cleansing, then you're going to want to start replenishing with probiotics, and also to start with, whether it's children or with you, adding more enzymes into their diet. If your child cannot take the Terrazyme enzyme, you can open it up. It is in a capsule, and you can use that powder and mix it into a bite of food. The reason they would want to take enzymes is because it is just a classic thing in the American diet that we eat foods that are cooked and depleted of enzymes. And enzymes are necessary to digest the food and get all that great nutrients into our body. On top of that, with our diet, these kids do not have great functioning stomachs, and their enzyme levels are really low. Every time my daughter's tested, they're like, yep, classic, no enzymes. So if you want that nutritious, wonderful food you're cooking to actually get into their body, and you've killed off the parasite that was going to rob that food, and you've killed off all this stuff, you still have to probably do some enzymes. And it's a great idea for anyone, even if you're just going, I'm a little low on energy, add enzymes and see if your digestion gets that boost it needs, just so you get the nutrients from your food. If you don't have enough enzymes in your body functioning and breaking down the food, then your body has to rob from another area. And so you're going to be really tired because it'll steal from your metabolic enzymes. So if you're run down and tired, start adding enzymes. It's an easy thing to do. Every meal, just add it a little bit before you eat. So we're going to want to replenish with probiotics, enzymes, vitamins. They talked about the Lifelong Vitality Pack, but we're also going to talk about in a second the new children's supplements. And make sure that you have been tested for the MTHFR genetic defect. It's easy to do in this town. Most doctors know about it. I'm talking about kids with autism. 98% have this genetic defect. And you have to supplement some special supplements for that. And you'll want to know that. You're in the best town for that because all the doctors are very well trained in that. You just have to ask. So minerals will, the right amount of minerals will come with the doTERRA supplements, and omega-3 fatty acids also. We're going to talk about those in a second. It's really exciting. They're brand new this fall. Our family's been using them. My kids love them, so we'll tell you about that in a minute.
Okay, these next two slides are something that was in our last presentation. We kind of glanced over a little bit too. And these are just kind of some basics. For balanced nutrition, you're going to want to detoxify the system. Nothing's going to get absorbed if they're full of toxins, and you don't want to be adding more toxins into their system. You want to be aware of any allergies or sensory issues, the MTHFR, because the MTHFR means that they're not processing and absorbing things properly. Going to a gluten-free, casein-free diet, using a blood type diet or a specific carb diet. Those are all good ways to help them get the nutrition that they need that's more specific to their needs. Also working with balanced nutrition with the Slim and Sassy. We heard a little bit talked about that earlier. That's got a great way to add in the vitamins and a good source of nutrients. The A to Z chewables and the IQ Mega, they are now offering in a pack, so it is now $39.50 in a combination pack. There's a little discount if you order both of them. And that is one I know there was a question about that if we're doing any of those. My kids are doing the chewables. Only one of my 4 can swallow pills, so we struggle with that a little bit. And he's my one who needs them all, and he fights me on it just a little bit. So we do the A to Z chewables, and that's I've definitely, my daughter actually comes and asks for them. She's noticed that it helps. Also coriander digests them, and enzymes also to help the system.
One thing that doTERRA is excellent about is adding enzymes into their supplements. So you are getting the proper amount of enzymes with your vitamins, minerals, and all that, so that you will digest that vitamin well too. So it's a really unique product. We had looked at hundreds of supplements for my kids, and I am extremely impressed with doTERRA's and how they put them together. And you know, I did not start doing doTERRA to get supplements, but once we looked at what they had developed, we switched, and we have checked with several doctors, and they have agreed this is a pretty great product, and the price is good. If you are on the loyalty rewards program, that means your monthly buying, you get them for that discount with that special pack. You can't get them at the discount otherwise. So that's not your price if you're just going to buy them offline or something. Okay. So another really great thing to add if there's digestive issues or any discomfort with digestion is the Digest Zen oil. And you can dilute it and put it on their tummies, you can put it on their feet. You may not know what's wrong, but it's a great way to give comfort for them when they are not feeling well. And if they like the taste of licorice, they can drink it in a couple sips of water, or you can take it in capsules. There's a lot of ways you can get this oil into your system. This is a great repairing oil for just damage done to the gut. It also has anti-parasitic oils, and it's just gonna really help with any constipation, diarrhea, or any of the symptoms as you're going through that detox. So you want Digest Zen to help with that process. So this step 3, I didn't really say. We're moving into the repair now. Specific oils and yes, they're all oils I think for repair for damage that's done. Okay, so this oil is frankincense. I'm sorry we don't have some for you. But if you want to get a bottle of frankincense yourself and get it for free, today is a very special day. If you, by like midnight, if you order 200 PV, that's about $200.
Okay, so if they're already enrolled, they can come on, they miss the window. Okay. But if they're enrolling and they get in tonight, then they
By
can.
10.
Okay, you have 2 hours to take part of this special frankincense deal.
If you are enrolling.
10-hour card or Utah card.
Okay, 11 o'clock our time.
Because they're an hour ahead.
Okay. over the past month and a half, they had a special, and it's just ending today, but you can still take part of it. If you're enrolling tonight, you can get a free frankincense if you have an order of 200 PV or more. It is a very precious oil, and even if you don't get in with this deal, you will want it in your medicine cabinet. It repairs so much in the body, especially in the neurological system. It's really neat because it can cross the blood-brain barrier and heal all kinds of stuff. We can't get in there. We wish we could get in those kids' brains and fix it. But when we started reading on autism and frankincense, we decided we were going to do frankincense every day. Just put it on our daughter's back every day. I think I only did it once a day. And after doing that for 4 months, the teachers working with her said they needed to do a completely new education plan. And it was not time to do a new education plan. But they said she has developed a 1.5 years' time in 4 months. So what we're doing does not even help her grow. And we were like, are you serious? We thought we saw a change, but they were seeing it so fast, the people working with her. So it's very exciting, the kind of development that we just can't even put our fingers quite on. What were those things that were healing? This oil is from a tree that's in Oman, Jordan, and this is an oil that is really in the past was only sold to royalty, and we get a chance to have this and to use it. And if I could have one oil, I would choose frankincense. It can treat so many things. Immune stimulant, thyroid support, anti-inflammatory, all the emotional things it can help with. Stress and depression, anxiety. It is a really beautiful oil. So I really recommend it, even if you didn't get in on that deal. Though if you are enrolling, you might as well look at how much it would take to get that. It's a $93 oil if you don't have an account yet. So it definitely is worth it.
I have to tell a quick story with this one too. My oldest son has Tourette's and his high functioning autism and several other issues. His growth disorder, which comes with a heart issue, can lead to heart defects, which he luckily got from me. And I've had arrhythmia issues for about 10 or 12 years now that I've dealt with. He had a seizure, his second seizure. We didn't realize the first one was a seizure. He had a second seizure a week before Halloween, and I put frankincense on his neck and it stopped the seizure. I immediately after that, we started using it on him on a daily basis, and his Tourette's has just about disappeared. It's crazy. I realize the days when I forget, he starts making funny noises again, and I'm like, oh, hold still. But I've noticed too, I will rub a drop on my chest, and the days that I forget, my heart's all funny, and it's offbeat, and I can't breathe. And when I remember, I'm fine. And my issue is cyclic, and it's usually really bad in December and January, and really bad in August, and July and August. And I had a couple days after Christmas where I forgot, and I couldn't breathe, and I've been okay otherwise. So this is, it is the king of oils. With anxiety and stress, we've got to hurry and rush through this. Anxiety and stress, these are a great list of several different things. You can use them topically, aromatically. These are ones that I do not leave the house without. I have Elevation and On Guard diffusing in my house all the time. Citrus Bliss is another one. Serenity and Lavender are calming. So this is repairing our emotional and neurological systems as well. It's calming the sensory, getting our systems to function a little better. Also, for a more specific into calming the ADHD oils, we have one of the new oils is the Intune, and it's a roller. And I've seen great things. My husband has ADHD, and we're starting to see things in my daughter. And this is the one that it smells funny. For him, he's like, it's cologne, it smells good. I like it. My daughter's like, I don't want to smell like that. So, yeah, definitely. I put this on her and then I add a little bit of citrus bliss over top of it. And that helps for her because it gets her focus and gets her happy oil. Serenity and lavender and balance and sandalwood, Roman chamomile and marjoram. Those are all good system calming oils.
Okay, last time we did this class, I think it was summer, and doTERRA had not put out this new product yet. It's called Mito 2 Max, so we wanted to make sure to tell you about the repair that it can bring for you or your child. We're really recommending it for adults, and so you'd want to check into it before you would do this with kids. It's not really the recommendation. We just found some information about it online about the way that it works with the mitochondria in our cell in reproducing the mitochondria and making it function better, which is our energy powerhouse. So if you are caring for these children, or if you're an adult dealing with these issues, the Mito 2 Max is really just a great non-stimulant energy boost. And it's got herbs in it that are going to help with mental functioning and the functioning of your cells, and without the crash of the caffeine stimulant roller coaster. If you want to know what's in it, come up and look, and there's a long list on here, and you can see what's in there.
The next new product that they came out with was the DDR Prime. And that one is, it helps the cells process through their natural life function, their life timeline, more properly. If we've got cells that are damaged and they're lingering in our system, that's not healthy. And that's a lot of times what happens with these kids is cells become damaged and they just keep reproducing, and we're just continuing a bad line there. We want those cells to slough off on their own and move on and start building good, strong cells. And this is one specifically because we know that my family is dealing with multiple genetic defects. Those cells are damaged. And so this is one that we have done research because we know that there's a heart condition that can come in the future with my boys. We're using the oil for my kids and to help prevent side effects of conditions that they have. And there's lots of research.
And if you notice, there was the bottle of straight oil, or this, if you want to look at the capsules, it's encapsulated with nanosomal lipid assimilation technology. Gotta get that. Yeah, that's a good one. So it's just a special way to deliver it to your body again.
We were down at convention, and Dr. Hill was telling us how many hours they spent developing that pill to do what it's doing. It wasn't just one to try to pay its
Oh, yeah.
No, they went over and over and over and over. And that impressed me that the company would be that meticulous for us.
Yeah, every sign I've seen of doTERRA is that it is really, really top-notch in their science and everything about it. I mean, you don't want to just blindly trust everything. Check it out, but the more you dig, the more you're going to find